to bring you more now on Hong Kong, where the police appear to be trying to clear out a university campus where protesters had barricaded themselves in. So some very worrying and dramatic pictures coming from in and around this university campus. At the moment, you can see clearly part of the building is on fire, smoke billowing up into the air.
More to the point, simply overstretched by what they're trying to deal with.
And so it's important to just look at what's happening here, because we can see part of that university campus on fire. We seem to think the police have launched an operation to effectively clear the student protesters out of this Polytechnic University campus. The students have barricaded themselves in, and the suggestion is that they set part of the entrance on fire in order to create a cordon around themselves to prevent the police from getting in. Right, well, more on the unfolding story in Bolivia right now. Of course, the incumbent President Evo Morales declared victory in the recent presidential election, but there's been a great deal of tension in the country. Miguel Tinker Salas is a professor of history and Latin American studies at Pomona College. Joins me live now from Claremont, California. Evo Morales is determined to hold on to power, isn't he? And he's unlikely to concede to a second runoff vote. Do you envisage that the protests on the streets of Bolivia will simply continue?
Well, they may continue, but they will eventually sputter out.
He has successfully won previous elections, and he certainly can be credited with boosting the economy, as you say. But there are some who have accused him of authoritarian tendencies, and they're saying that his decision to run for a fourth term is in defiance of the Constitution and a referendum vote in 2016.
No doubt. There has been opposition to Morales in ways that there has not been in the past.
Now joined by Alan Mendoza, co-founder and executive director of the libertarian foreign policy think tank, the Henry Jackson Society.
You regularly have presidents, ruled against in that court. No one expects them to resign in that case.
But we're not in the United States.
No, we're not.
This was a legitimate ruling on Boris Johnson's
the US Supreme Court
action and the balance of power in this country.
It's true, but the US Supreme Court also makes legitimate rulings on, based on law. What he has tried to do is chart a clear path towards leaving the European Union on October the 31st.
How has he tried to do that?
By stating that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do it at all costs.
You're not given any details. I mean, most people in Westminster believe that while he says that he's negotiating in good faith, there haven't been any negotiations going on.
The government's position is quite clear that you get a deal with the European Union 5 minutes before midnight.
The Supreme Court decision had nothing to do with Brexit. This was strictly about the action of the suspension of Parliament in the 5 weeks leading up to the 31st of October.
As a matter of law, that's correct.